Hi, Math Cats. We've talked before about solving equations with one unknown. And we found that as long as we don't have an identity or an unrealistic equation like x plus 5 equals x plus 6, something that's false, and that we can find what that one unknown is if we have a legitimate piece of information in an equation. And so we have worked with x. Now that we're moving on in algebra, we find that the equations are going to get still more complicated. And I want you to see we could do sort of branch right here. There are two ways we can get the equations more complicated. We could make the x go to a higher power, like an x squared, or we can bring in a second letter and have both an x and a y, or a third letter, an x and a y and a z. And you can see that algebra could get more and more complicated by bringing in more and more unknowns, or by raising the variables to higher powers. We have to, in Algebra 1, we have to investigate both of these paths. They keep on going. There's no end to how complicated a variable can get. But we'll teach you some techniques as they start to get more complicated, and then you can extrapolate how to deal with even more complex situations. The traditional thing to do, instead of working with higher powers on the x, is to add that second variable. If I can get the y here. If I can get the y to look like a y. So we're going to look at equations with both an x and a y. This means you would be given an equation like 2x plus y equals 8. Well, you can't solve that for those two letters. If you're going to have two variables, two unknowns, you have to have two independent equations in order to find out the one pair that actually works. We'll be looking at these techniques of finding the solution to equations with two unknowns. And there are many strategies. We're going to look at this graphically, by substitution, by elimination. And we'll look at some computer techniques, some matrix techniques, like Cramer's rule. Please work at this, because as things get more complicated, you are more and more a master of this thing called mathematics that can help you be a real problem solver. Keep working. Bye.